Smartphones before 13. Devastating mental health risks for kids? The alarming truth. How early smartphone use affects kids' mental health. Are you aware that giving your child a smartphone too early could be putting their mental health at risk? A recent study reveals a disturbing link between early phone use and anxiety, low self-worth, and even suicidal thoughts in kids. As a parent, this finding hits close to home. My wife and I have always been cautious about introducing smartphones to our kids, and this research confirms our concerns. The study, which surveyed over 100,000 young adults aged 18 to 24, uncovered some alarming trends. Kids who received smartphones before the age of 13, especially as young as 5 or 6, reported higher rates of suicidal thoughts, emotional struggles, poor self-image, and lower self-worth. But here's where it gets controversial. Girls were disproportionately affected. A staggering 45% of young women who got smartphones before age 6 reported severe suicidal thoughts, compared to less than a third of those who got them after 13. They were also more likely to feel less confident and emotionally resilient. For boys, 31% who got phones by age 5 or 6 reported suicidal thoughts, compared to 20% who got them by age 13 or older. They were also more likely to feel less calm, less empathetic, and less stable. So what's driving these disturbing trends? Researchers point to factors like cyberbullying, poor sleep, excessive social media use, and strained family relationships as likely contributors. If your child doesn't have a smartphone yet, the researchers recommend holding off until at least age 13 and limiting social media use. I know it's not easy. My own kids are under that age, and the pressure from their peers can be intense. But what if your child already has a smartphone? It's not too late to make a change. You can set new rules, add parental controls, limit social media, delete certain apps, or even switch to a flip phone. However, the most crucial step is to have open and honest conversations with your child. Share this study with them and let them know that they can always come to you if they're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, or just off. And if you notice signs like mood swings, trouble sleeping, or social withdrawal, seek help from a licensed mental health professional. Smartphones can have a profound impact on how kids think and see the world, but the love, connection, and support they receive at home is just as powerful. So put your phone down, connect with your kids, and make sure they know they can always come to you. When kids feel safe, supported, and heard, their emotional health is much stronger. Now it's your turn. Do you think the benefits of early smartphone use outweigh the potential risks? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The shocking truth about kids and smartphones before age 13. Imagine a world where giving a child a smartphone before they turn 13 could be quietly shaping their mental health in ways we're only beginning to understand. And here's where it gets controversial. Recent research suggests that early smartphone ownership might be linked to worse mental health outcomes later in life, especially for girls. This is a topic that sparks debate, but the evidence is compelling enough to make us pause and reconsider when and how we introduce these devices to our children. A new study, published in the Journal of Human Development and Capabilities, sheds light on this issue. It analyzed responses from over 100,000 young adults aged 18 to 24 who completed questionnaires about their mental health. These questions covered symptoms like aggression, feelings of detachment, hallucinations, and suicidal thoughts. The findings revealed a clear pattern. The earlier a child received a smartphone, particularly before age 13, the more likely they were to experience negative mental health effects as young adults. Specifically, children who got their first smartphone at age 5 or 6 reported significantly higher rates of severe suicidal thoughts, about 48% of young women and 31% of young men. Compared to their peers who received phones at age 13 or older, where the rates dropped to 28% and 20% respectively. This stark difference raises important questions about the impact of early exposure to digital devices. The study also found gender-specific effects. Girls who owned smartphones early on reported lower emotional resilience and confidence, while boys indicated feeling less calm, less stable, and less empathetic. These differences are believed to be influenced by social media use, cyberbullying, disrupted sleep patterns, and strained family relationships. all factors that can significantly affect mental well-being. Tara Fiajaran, one of the study's authors, emphasized that the younger a child is when they get a smartphone, the more their psychological development can be affected. She explained that early exposure influences how children perceive themselves and the world around them. In response to these findings, experts are advocating for stricter guidelines. Many recommend delaying smartphone use until at least age 14, coupled with open conversations about responsible internet use and the potential consequences of online behavior. Dr. Tara Narula from ABC News echoed this sentiment, suggesting that limiting social media access during childhood could be a crucial step in safeguarding mental health. Some families are even turning to alternatives, like landlines or basic flip phones, which allow communication without the distractions and risks associated with smartphones. This conversation is part of a broader movement led by social psychologist Jonathan Haidt, author of Anxious Generation, who proposes establishing nationwide standards, such as not giving children smartphones before high school and banning social media until age 16. His goal is to create safer, healthier digital environments for young people. Pediatrician Dr. Natasha Burgert also stresses the importance of parents modeling responsible smartphone use. She advises that parents should actively engage with their children, demonstrating that real human connections are more valuable than screen time. Simple daily interactions can foster trust and help children develop healthier habits. The American Academy of Pediatrics supports these efforts through the 5 C's of media use, considering your child's personality, content, emotional calmness, family activities, and ongoing digital literacy education. They recommend teaching children how to navigate online spaces safely, recognizing that much of the content and advertising are targeted at older audiences. So, as we navigate this digital age, the question remains: should we rethink when and how children are introduced to smartphones? Are the benefits worth the potential risks? Or is delaying access a smarter choice for their mental health? Share your thoughts. Do you agree with delaying smartphone use? Or do you believe children should have early access in this digital world? The debate is open, and your opinion matters. The hidden dangers of early smartphone access for kids. The hidden dangers of early smartphone access, a threat to developing minds. Imagine handing your child a device that could potentially alter the course of their mental health and well-being. Sounds alarming, right? Unfortunately, this is a reality for many parents who are unaware of the risks associated with early smartphone access. A recent study has sounded the alarm, warning that giving kids a smartphone before they're 13 can have devastating consequences on their developing minds. The study's shocking findings. Researchers analyzed data from over 100,000 young adults worldwide and found that those who got their first smartphone before the age of 13 were more likely to experience poorer mental health and well-being in early adulthood. Specifically, they were at a higher risk of suicidal thoughts, aggression, detachment from reality, and low self-worth. The study's lead researcher, Tara Thiagarajan, was shocked by the strength of the results, but upon further reflection, she realized that the younger developing mind is more vulnerable to the online environment due to its lack of worldly experience. The role of social media in the mental health crisis. So, what's behind this link between early smartphone access and poorer mental health? The study suggests that early exposure to toxic social media is a major contributor, accounting for about 40% of the link. The constant stream of curated content and the pressure to present a perfect online persona can be overwhelming for young minds. Cyberbullying, disrupted sleep, and poor family relationships also play a significant role in this mental health crisis. The consequences of early smartphone access. The study's findings are alarming, to say the least. For example, girls who got a smartphone at age 5 or 6 were more likely to report suicidal thoughts, diminished self-image, and less emotional resilience. Boys, on the other hand, were more likely to have lower stability, self-worth, and empathy. These findings have significant implications for policymakers, parents, and the tech industry as a whole. A call to action: restricting smartphone access for under 13s. Based on these findings, researchers are urging policymakers to adopt a precautionary approach, similar to regulations on alcohol and tobacco. By restricting smartphone access for under 13s, They also recommend mandating digital literacy education and enforcing corporate accountability. Several countries have already taken steps to ban or restrict cell phone use in schools, and it's time for others to follow suit.